I believe that the best is yet to come when it comes to XCN. The reason being is because $1, that's still my price target for this bull run, even though that's not financial advice. But we have to think about this logically, right? If we take a look at the most recent pump when it comes to XCN, can you imagine this, right? XCN did that without even, much details really about Goliath. When you take a look at Goliath, it's their much anticipated up and coming, so to speak, layer 1 blockchain that is expected to have a mainnet launch in Q1 of 2026. So that could be massive. But even besides that, XCN did that without the hype that we see of Goliath as of right now. There really isn't that much hype anyways when it comes to Goliath because, of course, the market sentiment is down. But I'm just saying, if XCN was able to do that back then, imagine once the market picks up again, Goliath could be such a contributing factor. It's like this, right? Again, if someone is able to run a 10-mile marathon using Timberland boots, imagine once they have actual running sneakers or whatever. It's a totally different ball game. So I think that once the market picks up again, what we saw with XCN in the past, I think that could very well be a small taste because again, even though Goliath isn't expected to have a mainnet launch, anytime this year at least, even despite that, the anticipation alone is enough. Think about this, right? Again, XCN had that pretty decent pump despite just, kind of being somewhat of a carbon copy of like Ripple and Stellar. It was able to do that back then. So then this time around, that they're actually planning something, that they actually have a solid roadmap, in my opinion, right? A solid plan, it could be totally different. And I think this could be a totally different game changer because, of course, Onyx is very similar to Stellar and Ripple. And again, with the anticipated launch of Goliath in terms of its mainnet next year, this is going to be a big narrative, especially as May, June, July comes along. And what I'm seeing right now when it comes to XCN, it's just quite essentially, personally for me, I'm not telling anyone to buy XCN, but then it's just, again, for me, a buy the dip type of moment. Really, that's it. What I put into cryptocurrencies is what I would have put into my savings account anyways, right? So then if let's say things are going down or let's say things aren't doing what I expected to do in the short term or the medium term, let's say, I'm not going to be overly concerned because that wasn't what I was going to use on my personal day-to-day expenses, if that makes sense. Because some friends that I know, what they put into cryptos is what they would have put into their rent money, what they would have put into their car payment, what they would have used to buy groceries, right, in the next 2 or 3 weeks. They do that, and then let's say the portfolio is down, of course, they're going to be a little bit agitated, right? They're going to be like, oh man, what is this going on? What's happening? And then they end up panic selling because they need that. But then, in my opinion, what I do instead is I just put, any extra income that I have that I would have put into my, savings account anyways, I put that into cryptocurrencies, and I'm willing to take a chance on that. So that way, if it doesn't do well, in the short to medium term, I'm not agitated, I'm not angry or whatever, I'm not emotionally invested in that. No, right? Of course, in a literal sense, there is a sort of investment in my part, right? But then it's not, emotionally draining because I didn't put what, I would have used for my daily expenses anyways. Again, some people out there, in some cases I've seen, right? My friends, they put their extra income, what they would have put in savings anyways, they do that, but then they get, kind of caught up in the moment, and then they start putting in what they would have used for their personal lifestyle, like their rent money, their car payments, their grocery, this and that, right? And then if they do that, what happens? If the market isn't doing that good, like what we see as of right now, a lot of them I've seen panic sell, or either they just start complaining and they start thinking that cryptos are a joke. And again, if they're doing that, I can't really blame them because, of course, if I did those same moves, of course, I'd be emotionally, invested, but then I'm not doing that, right? So then that's why when I take a look at XCN, it doesn't concern me because I think the market is going to go up again. And still I'm going to be dollar cost averaging because you know what? Things go lower, I'll accumulate more. I'll quote unquote buy the dip. I'll dollar cost average. I'm never going all in. I'm not putting, more than I can afford. I'm not doing that, right? I'm just literally putting what I would have put into my savings account anyways. And that way I can stay in the game long term because this is a marathon for me, right? I'm not looking to exit in a week, in a month. This is not my style. This is not what I do. Some people may be looking for that, but that's what I'm doing. Some people out there, they see what happened in 2021 and they say, wow, take a look at someone who put 20 grand into Dogecoin and it became 200 grand or whatever the case may be in a time span of a week or a month, depending on the situation, right? Some people may think that and they think that, oh, it's going to happen right now. But sometimes people have to think about this as well. If we take a look at 2021, during that March or April time, it wasn't people really foreseen, right, that like something like Dogecoin was going to reach over $80 billion in market cap. Shiba Inu was going to reach around $40 billion in market cap a number of months later. I don't think a lot of people saw that was going to happen. Of course, the fans of those projects could have maybe saw that, but then I'm saying, the large majority of individuals probably didn't think that way, right? Or not, they would have, probably all FOMO'd into Dogecoin and Shiba Inu. But what I'm saying is that as of right now, it kind of reminds me of that time. And not to mention, some of the people who made it in 2021 were holding for years. So they've been through a lot of volatility. And some people think that, oh yeah, for those people who entered in a week, they got out really quickly, we're going to copy that. But then it doesn't always work that way. So then that's why, when my friends ask me that, I just keep telling them it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. But even besides that, why could Onyx be a big narrative? It's because if you take a look at, again, XCN, aka Onyxcoin, it's a native token of the Onyx protocol. And if we take a look at the Onyx protocol, it's allegedly, right, been stated that it is a decentralized blockchain infrastructure that is designed to improve financial services. So it's basically focused on the same things as Ripple and Stellar. Again, of course, Stellar, aka XLM, and Ripple, aka XRP. But then this has a way lower market cap. So the way I view it is that if I'm bullish on XRP and XLM, which I do think they're going to do good, why would I not believe in this? That's just my point of view. Now, I don't have any XRP or XLM, but the beauty about that is because I think the market cap is a little bit too big, which is why I focus on something like, XCN, XDC, XPR, ZBCN. I'm looking for the alternatives here. And I do believe in the future of Ripple and Stellar. So I think as they do go up, these other alternatives, they're going to go along with the ride as well. XCN is not going to defeat XLM or XRP in the long term. I'm just going to make that clear. But when I believe in those projects, I'll believe in this too, because the payments market is valued at over $2 trillion currently. And the global trade and finance market, according to Morgan Intelligence, is expected to reach $5 trillion by 2028. So massive markets, I still do see a very bright future. And not to mention, I think the bull run is far from over. When there's over 600 million crypto owners, according to Crypto.com research, I refuse to believe that the most recent top that we saw when it comes to altcoins and also Bitcoin, I highly doubt that that was the peak, because I think better days are ahead. We're going to see pullbacks along the way, but I think that the journey is still very far. I'm still bullish on XCN ultimately, because if it were to go to the price of $1, considering current circulating supply, market cap would be around $32.5 billion. Not too bad, right? We've seen, Shiba Inu nearly exceed this by $10 billion, back in 2021 in terms of market cap. That year we saw, something like BNB exceed this by over 70 billion. We also saw Dogecoin exceed this by, around 50 billion back in 2021 as well. And not to mention, even XRP, as of right now, has a market cap that is over $100 billion more than this. Again, I'm not saying that XCN is ever going to defeat XRP, but just achieving a glimpse of that, keep in mind again, $1 is around a 68x from here. So I view this as a no-brainer. I'm not going to give up on XCN. I think better days are ahead. And $1, that's still my price target for this bull run. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I greatly appreciate it. It's only the captain, and I'll catch you all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.